This video is sponsored by Rocket Money, which we'll get to a little bit later. What's good? Animation is the most gorgeous, most stunning form of visual language that we have, especially 2D animation. Unfortunately, that hasn't stopped a wide majority of people, especially here in America, from viewing it as nothing more than cartoon. Ed, Edd and Eddy, that's a cartoon. Grave of the Fireflies, shit, that's a cartoon too. I don't get it. Why doesn't Blossom, Bubbles, and Buttercup just show up to stop this? I mean, they all exist in the same universe, right? Drawings world? Like many of you, I grew up on these so-called cartoons. I laughed with Bob, got scared with Courage, reenacted Kamehamehas at my local pool with the pea and Band-Aid filled water. I even used to take all the kitchen knives out of my kitchen and throw them around the backyard like they were kunai from Naruto. And then I grew up, or as a white Gen Z TikTok comment section using AAVE might describe it, I became unk. But something happened. I didn't grow out of enjoying animation. I actually gained a deeper appreciation as I started drawing myself. Tried making my own cartoons with my friends and I as the voice actors. I dug deeper into the different and more mature stories animation could explore, especially in other countries. I found myself frustrated trying to put my parents on when to them there was no meaningful difference between like Princess Mononoke and Shrek. Then you see what the Academy has going on and they have the same mindset. The Oscars idea of celebrating animation is not only bleak but insulting. Academy voters admitting to not even watching the nominees. Jimmy Kimmel saying jokes like this every year.
Animated feature and animated short. Raise your hand if you let your kid fill out this part of the ballot.
And you have movies like Anomalisa going up against like the Boss Baby. But what really upsets me, and the reason I actually decided to make this video now, was because I watched the 2025 How to Train Your Dragon live action remake. There's nothing more nauseating, disrespectful, greedy, and insulting than this practice. So I'm gonna talk about this movie in particular, live action remake culture, and what we can learn from recent anime movie hits, and some other stuff. So sit back, hope you enjoy this shorter J-bite. All right, let's drop in. But first, a quick word for our sponsor of this video, Rocket Money. If you're having trouble with finance management, Rocket Money is here to help you. Rocket Money is an all-in-one personal finance app that helps you cancel subscriptions, lower bills, and manage your money better. Does this sound like you? Oh man, remember that one app or service that I was only gonna use for a month or just a free trial of, but then forgot to cancel? And now I've been paying for months? I know it probably sounds like you because it definitely sounds like me. Once you connect your bank account, Rocket Money shows you all of the subscriptions that you're currently paying for in a single list. It also shows you how much each subscription is costing you per year. And instead of having to go through each subscription and try to individually cancel them, from within the app, Rocket Money may be able to help you cancel unwanted subscriptions with just a few taps. With Rocket Money, you can also create a customized budget in seconds. The app will show you straight up where all your money is going at all times and identifies top spending categories with insights on how you can stay within your budget better. From there, Rocket Money will notify you on upcoming charges or when your balance is low to help you avoid overdraft and late fees. Rocket Money has helped to save its customers up to $740 a year when you use all of the app's premium features. So if you like the sounds of all of that, take control of your finances today. Go to rocketmoney.com/jcote or click the link in the description to get started for free. Thank you so much to Rocket Money for sponsoring this video. Now back to the video. So recently I was traveling and for some reason, I think I heard some of the music or something, but I was thinking about How to Train Your Dragon, how much I love that movie. But I remembered that a live action version came out this year that I've never seen. So I thought, what the hell? And I decided to watch it. I guess I just wasn't expecting much, but I wasn't expecting was just how angry it would make me. Okay, so if you're unaware, like I was, this is kind of unlike many live action remakes in that this one is quite literally a one-to-one copy of the original. It is shot for shot, word for word,
Hiccup.
Dad.
bar for bar, camera movement for camera movement, line inflection for line inflection.
Thank you for nothing, you useless reptile. Thank you for nothing, you useless reptile.
Except, of course, that for every single conceivable way, it's worse than the animated version, aka the true version. So I just have to ask, what the actual is the point of this? One of these is a movie. Okay, I'm sorry, movie. A lot of people making fun of the way I talk. And the other is just nothing. The only benefit of this movie's existence is to the greedy executives and their bank accounts. And the only takeaway that they're gonna have from this is to never ever take a creative risk. Because apparently people not only want stories they've heard before, but they want them told to them the exact way they were already told before. Of course, just uglier, with less charisma, and no passion. And I know this movie was super highly reviewed. A lot of people really love it.
This was obviously built on the hard work of extremely talented people, costume designers, VFX artists, actors.
But all of that is also what makes this so frustrating. But so we have to ask again, why? Why do this? I understand that the answer is money, but besides that, besides the money, why do this? Because they could have just re-released the OG in theaters. And this was directed by one of the same directors of the original animated movie. So is there any reason, any merit to doing this? The way I see it, animation as a medium is just looked down on. Like, does animation not count? If you're gonna do it literally shot for shot, then I don't see how the only motivation isn't to try to replace the other one, right? Like a video game remaster. Except the issue is the original story was made to be told with animation. The world and colors are so vibrant, the motion is so kinetic, the character designs are so expressive. With the live action version, they attempt to make everything the same, but of course with the modern gray washed out movie filter. They try to keep the characters and designs the same for the most part, but the visual language is just not as easily communicated. Hiccup is played by the kid from The Black Phone. He's a pretty popular young actor right now, but he's got this like chiseled jaw. He's super tall and good shape. He looks like he could beat everyone's ass at the dragon training, to be honest. And also, I'll just say it now, no, I'm not gonna complain about any race swapping of characters in a children's movie. The only people that get fired up about stuff like that are complete and utter losers. Who cares, dude? Who cares? But so to continue on, Mason Thames and Nico Parker, you guys did incredible work. But how can you expect them to compete with the original voice cast? Jay Baruchel is an incredibly experienced comedic actor. He brings so much to the character. And when they do flying scenes, he basically just turns into a CGI double. So now nothing on the screen is real. It's just an animated movie again. You just made a more expensive animated movie just with an uglier style. Because realism is a style. It's a good style for a lot of things, like The Sopranos. The Sopranos would probably not be as good if it was animated. And the same goes for this. Its original animated style was perfect for this story. Okay, I could just talk about this movie forever, so I'm just gonna move on. We'll talk about some other examples, such as the Netflix Avatar show. A lot of times you get this feeling that they make a live action version and like, this is the one for adults, as if animation can only be for little kids. So they make this version of the Avatar show and say it's like Game of Thrones. And they put in just useless scenes like the massacre of all the airbenders at the Southern Air Temple. Like, wow, it's so adult now, which is just a 13-year-old's idea of what adult is, you know, like blood and stuff. Then they have all this pointless exposition, and the story is 10 times more clumsily told. The animated version, ironically, had respect for the intelligence of its audience, and thus was a more mature show than the Netflix version, with all its on-screen deaths. But follows the tell, don't show method every chance it gets because apparently we're all little babies. And the whole idea of this show is so misguided in the first place. Luckily, there is hope yet. There's a silver lining for me to talk about. We'll try to be happy thoughts at the end of this video because as you might have heard, yeah, anime is cool now. Used to be you had to hide that shit. If you were the anime kid, Naruto running down the halls, you'd get thrown in a locker. And no matter how many times you tried to perform the friend group summoning jutsu, it wouldn't work, it would backfire on you. Nowadays, you know, just everyone's seen Attack on Titan, just everyone. You don't gotta hide it anymore. But what I was getting to was that recently anime movies from Japan have been topping the box office, namely Demon Slayer Infinity Castle and Chainsaw Man the movie Reze Arc. Now, if you're able to brave the smell and the people reenacting their own live action battles, you'll be treated to some of the most breathtaking animation ever put to screen. Both of these using a mixture of hand-drawn and modern digital effects. It really pushes the boundaries of what's possible on screen. seen and feels like you're seeing something you've never seen before in a way that's different from how VFX has kind of become a little mundane to look at. And these are both R-rated. So if that doesn't show a hunger for adult animation, I don't know what does. But if Hollywood learns anything from this, I'm sure it will be that they should make the live action Tom Holland movie and nothing else. We also have something like Smiling Friends absolutely thriving right now, which is an adult animated comedy which uses a ton of mixed media animation to such a great effect. That's right, it's an adult animated show that actually uses its animation as part of the comedy. Can you believe that? Can you believe that that's the case? We also have Invincible, of course, the 2 Spider-Verse movies. I mean, what a great duology. It's a shame it was only ever those 2 movies, and that's where it ended. God, I hope that ages poorly. But comic book stuff is something I'd love to see way more of in animation. Of course, that Batman Beyond movie was canned because we can't have anything. Look, there is nothing that can capture the human imagination like animation can. It's literally our oldest form of visual art, as we drew 2 frames of a bison moving on a cave wall. And it still to this day has more potential than any other visual medium. And it's time that animation got the respect it deserves, rather than whatever this was. Also, I obviously haven't talked about AI a lot in this, but if AI generated animated movies becomes normalized, then there will literally be no reason for humanity to continue. I'm not exaggerating. That cannot happen. I'd rather an alien species vaporizes the earth to atoms than to live in a world where there's an AI generated animated movie playing at my local theater. So while I was editing this video, Bob Iger came out to say that Disney Plus plans to incorporate user-generated AI content on the platform. So I had to include this because here's the thing. I can bitch about live action remakes all I want and like the fall off of 2D animation and all that, but at the end of the day, like whatever, none of that matters in the face of this. This is the most despicable, evil, disgusting thing they can possibly do. Disney as a brand, as a company, as everything was built on the backs of animators, of drawings drawn by people. Every single dollar that Disney has ever made is because of the hard work and dedication of real human animators. And to turn around and spit in their faces with this I'm sorry, I'm feeling very discouraged because the sad truth is people will use this. Dude, people will allow their drooling children to generate AI slop and they'll grow up consuming that rather than art created by artists like the stuff I was so moved by growing up. Those stories that connected me to other worlds created by other people, they made me the person I am today. And for people that don't get why people like me are so adamant about their hate for AI, let me share something with you. This is a hand-drawn animation that I made when I was younger. It took me hours and hours of work. It took an entire day to make this little thing. And technically I didn't get anything out of it, I guess. I didn't post it online to get a bunch of likes or anything like that. No one's really seen it but me. But I love it. I look at this all the time. It makes me so proud. It's just one of those things where if I'm ever feeling like shit, like I can't do anything, I don't know if I'm talented or not, I can always return to this and just watch it and be like, dude, I taught myself to do that. I can do anything. And you know what? This is gonna sound so corny and cringe, but even if the entire universe is indifferent to my existence, I have this. I was given life and I drew a bunch of pictures and made the illusion of movement. So I don't know. This is why I get so romantic about animation. So I know it's hard when you have ChatGPT or Sora. Obviously it doesn't have to be animation, but I just feel like you owe it to yourself to make something. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this somewhat shorter video, and thanks again to Rocket Money for sponsoring this video. I'm working on some other stuff, such as a video on the Cube movies, which will be dropping at the end of the month. And I just wanted to talk about this because I love animation! And I love you guys too. If you guys want to support me, my Patreon is in the description. I put all of my videos up on there a day early. Thank you to all of my lovely, lovely patrons. Okay, that's all I got for today. Bye-bye, kisses, love you.